Good morning, viewers. It's Saturday the 28th of February. As you can see, it's raining again. I've opened the yard for business. I've been open about an hour. No customers yet, but I'm not expecting many, to be honest, due to the poor weather again. It's a damp, dull, miserable start, but we're open and we'll see what happens. So welcome to the week 6 Woodyard Ranskill Limited YouTube channel, weekly video, week 6. And we'll start here with I'm on a delivery. Just a small delivery, a couple of fence panels, 4 lengths of timber. I've just took the timbers and one of the fence panels, and here I am just taking the last the fence panel, as you can see. And that's that delivery complete and done. So now let's get back to the yard. And there we are now back at the yard, and I'm now making a double-sided arch top panel. And this is roughly a 6 by 4 foot, well, it's a bit over 4 foot, it's a bespoke size. It's a double-sided bit in this arch top panel. It's actually for a job that I'm doing. I've already put a panel in and I measured it wrong, but you'll get to see it. It should be on next week's video. So we've got to get the panel back out, and we had to really force it in. We've got to go back to the job, take the panel out that I put in that's the wrong size, which you'll see, and replace it for this one that I'm making now. How we're going to get it out, I'm not sure yet. We might have to cut it out, because I said we really had to force it in. But that'll be on hopefully on next week's video, because I'm making this panel now, and we'll go out and swap it over and hopefully get to see that. So I've done one side of the panel up, and now I'm about to cut the arch. Here we go. What we do, overhang it over the bench, as you can see. I've got a wooden template that I used to draw the arch with a Sharpie, which I'm about to get, and then you'll see me do it. Basically, we just mark it with a Sharpie with a stencil that we've got, and then cut it with a jigsaw, and then we'll have to just do the other side of the panel, as you'll see. And what I've just realised here is this template, look, this arch template, somebody cut it for me, and it's not quite even. If you use the whole template, one side's higher than the other side for some reason. So I've just remembered after I've drawn the arch, what you do is you just do half of it and then flip it over so that and arch the other side. So you can see here, look, so that you're using the same side of the template to draw each of the arches, if that makes sense. So if you draw it in one like I did before, it's just not even. So you want to be using the same side of the, well, I do, the same side of the template. So that's why I've just remembered, look, and flipped it back over and then redrawn it again on this second side. Hopefully that makes sense. Now I'm going to cut the arch. Now what I'm going to do now is just cut the very corners with the handsaw. This is so that we can get the arch right to the shoulder. Some people have like a couple of few inches step up from the top rail to the arch, because they obviously can't do it this way, they don't do it this way. So I cut it first with the jigsaw as close as I can get, and then I just finish it, look, with the handsaw, so it runs right, the arch runs right into the shoulder of the panel. That's one side done, and now we'll do the same again on the back. And this is a double-sided panel, so obviously, as you can see, I'm now going to do the same across the back and just clad and arch the back to match. And that's both sides done, look, cladded an arch, nice. And now what I'm going to do, another extra thing we do but not everyone does, I'm now going to paint all the tops, where I've cut the arch, because it's opened up the timber, the tannalised timber, and it's it's not protected anymore. So I will now paint, look, yeah, a bit time consuming, but for me, we're doing the best job we can, it's worthwhile. So I'm going to seal now all the tops that I've cut, to make it, obviously a fully treated panel, as it should be. These are nice panels, but the only trouble is the weight. They're extremely heavy. It's a double-sided 22mm boards we use, thick, obviously 3 of them, look, 3 thick, and it's tannalised, still wet timber, so they are really, really heavy. We've got to lift this panel in, me and Cole have got to actually lift and fit it in, as you'll get to see hopefully in next week's video. So that's the panel done, look. When I can turn it over because it's so heavy, I'll stand it up and let you have a look at the And there we have it. One heavy duty 4x1 hit and miss double-sided archtop palisade fence panel. That's the front. They are nice panels, as I said, but just very, very heavy. But they will last some time. It's fully pressure treated, tannalised the whole panel. There we go, look, double-sided. And you can see the bag. Right, what's Fred up to now? I've now had an order from a regular customer for 5 bags of freshly cut, unseasoned hardwood logs. He will season them himself over this year. We're going to use a Portec charger look as always for splitting them. So here we go on a time lapse. I'll let you watch me get this. And there we have it, look, one bag there ready, wants 5 bags in total, but believe it or not, I haven't got enough logs now to split, to make the 5 bags up. I think I've got 3 bags ready, so I'm now going to have to get some out some crates. Look, here we go, just to top up the last couple of bags, as I don't have enough logs left to split now, so you know they're about all split. So we're just now stealing some of my stock that was outside for seasoning. And there we are, look, there's 3 of the 5 for the customers having. As I said, he's having 5 bags, freshly cut, and he'll season these himself. There we go, look, we're going to have to use some. These are my stock crates that I have outside seasoning. I'm going to have to use those. And here we are, we're on the job. I've now arrived at the customers, and there's Fred delivering the first bag on his own, look, with his own made wooden ramp. This is how I do it. It's quite a job. But I've done it so many times, I'm used to it, and as you can see, it works. I can deliver it on my own with a pump truck, but you'll see there's only one little bit of this curb I can get up. I've done this drop many times, and the curb, obviously with a pump truck it gets stuck, and there's only one part of the curb that I can actually get the pump truck up, but I've learned over the years. Go on Fred, you're nearly there. It's just got stuck, look, yay, here he goes. And now, back at the yard again. What's Fred doing now? Right, this is something a little bit different, for me anyway. I'm doing a Vertilap panel. It's a customer order, so it's to match it with an existing panel. And it's a Vertilap panel, but they want it horizontal lapped instead of vertically lapped. You might think not a problem, but in the 11 years I think I've only ever done it once. It's always Vertilap. So you'll see I get quite confused here. Quite often you'll just see me pausing and trying to work out what I'm doing next, because everything's the wrong way around for me basically. The frame rails and everything's backwards to how I normally make them, so it's horizontal. I'm just screwing the frame together now, as you can see. So it's got a frame on it and then horizontal boards, but I'll let you watch and see. And anyway, watch, look, here's the first confusion. Wrong way, Fred. But it didn't fit, and I can't work out why. Oh, here we are. Because it's going on that way. As I said, everything's a different way around to what I normally do it. I'm working on this sideways on the bench as well. It's just, yeah. But anyway, it works, and I do it. But as you can see, a few times I do get a bit stuck, and I have to think what I'm doing next. And now the process, same as with any Vertilap panel I used it. Look, that's my sort of measuring stick with the 100mm spaced apart lines all the way down it, and the bottom of the bench has also got black lines at 100mm along the bottom as well. Look, so I just line these up now, top and bottom, as I do on any feather edge panel. just about to nail this board on, look, and then I realised that I've flipped it as I normally do, but on this one it doesn't want flipping. All the boards want to be running the same way because I'm matching up to some existing fencing, so I'm having to copy it exact. So the board, all the boards are running the same way. I don't flip the end one on this particular panel. Finally now we just need a weather capping for the top and the panel will be complete. And there we go, job complete. I said a bit different for me, horizontal rather than vertically, but I've managed to do it looking, it matches exactly what they've got existing. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video, week 6, so thanks ever so much indeed for watching, really appreciated as always, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one, which will be week 7. So thanks again, cheers.